Hey, welcome to round 1 of this Bond Infect Legacy League. Our opponent is on a Yorion deck, so this hand is definitely a keep. It's not great, but it's definitely a keep. We're on the draw, which is kind of sad with his hand. It's a lot better to just be able to hierarch with this back up into the agent, but it is what it is. A Birds of Paradise. Alright. I was kind of expecting them to be on D&T, just because I think it's the most popular Yorion deck at the moment. But so this could either be a Lurin or a green-white. Well, more brew, I think. But for now, I think it's most likely that they're a Lurin. They've been playing quite a bit of Yorion variants with the addition of Asterirach. Just diversifying their card base and fitting it all in there. I don't think it's great, but okay, they have a Yorion in their hand now. Nexus is a great draw here. I'm gonna start with playing my agent around potential days. And to see the information before I ponder. And now I'll just dump the other hierarch to get more pressure on board. And if we find a pump swell or something next turn, we might just kill them, depending on what they do. And ending. Yeah, that's gonna work. So they still have white mana up in the Birds of Paradise at the moment. There's a chance I just have to go for it anyway. I think I'm gonna start with pondering, see what the plan is. So we got another Hope Noble Hierarch. Comments. These are all good cards. It doesn't help us with the issue of like if they have a lot of source plowshares, it's gonna be annoying. We know they have a blue card in their hand for potential falls. So the question: do I fire up the Nexus and just get in there for 3 to 7 damage, or do I want to deploy the Blighted Agent and just chill out for a turn? Have them keep their 2 mana open again. So I could draw the Blighted Agent, the Noble Hierarch, and cast that and the Blighted Agents, put me very vulnerable to like some sort of sweepers, but I don't expect them to have that. And then next turn I can hope they don't have anything. If I get in there with the Nexus, I might just want to fire this up. No, I think that what I said is fine, though I do think I did it the wrong way around. I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay. Have to deal with this first and then with that one. It's basically the plan here. And sorry for the background noises. It's a bit too hot to keep the window closed at all times. Yeah, I don't think it's reasonable to scale up here. I'm just gonna get in with the Blighted Agents. Now what I have to remember that there's a Become Immense on top of my library, so I think I want to fetch before I draw that. Let's see what they do. This could be a Yorion, just to have a blocker for my Incon Nexus. Bonder's fine. I mean, that would be very greedy if they do it now and just step out for it, but theoretically they could do that. So they didn't shuffle, so they clearly have something to do with the Nexus. Probably better than just blocking with the birds. That said, do I still get in here while I have everything up? Or do I just attack with a Hierarch for 3? I haven't been playing this game too well, I think. So there's the endurance, that's fine. And because that's another blocker for a flying creature, I think I'm fine with just hard casting this on the Noble Hierarch. Like that. Just getting it out of the way. They do have black. So they might yet be another variant, but the reason why this is most notable is just because it enables Plague Engineers. So definitely have to keep that in mind. So they have 3 cards left. So if that's sorts of plowshares, fossil wheel blue, and Yorion, it's gonna be annoying, but see if I scale up here, it's in line, it's still not lethal. So I think I am gonna attack with this Incon Nexus, but just not do anything else with it. Like not scale it up. Bit of a shame that I have to tap all my Noble Hierarchs if I want to get all my mana, so I can't really scale up all my nobles with overload. Yeah, I'll fight back here, see what they have. I know one of the cards in their hand is the Yorion, so. The hard card also will. That would be very good for me, I think. And I'll return all that to my hand to... Oh wait. There's a bird hiding in there, of course. Yeah, that's fine then. Alright, we're on the Noble Hierarch beatdown plan with the scale up, and with 3 nobles it's not too unreasonable to get there, but them having their Yorion as a blocker is definitely going to be annoying. We'll see. So this is going to be the new Yorion, I guess. Yeah. Ooh. They could have one more untapped land if they used the birds for that and blinked it. Ooh, that's definitely a decent draw. Yeah, I'm just gonna run it out here. Let's see if we can get there with that if they just don't find removal. Carcass is still 1 card in hand. So it's definitely not a prismatic ending then, which they have in their deck. Okay, they didn't untap their Yorion. Either because they're just not afraid of the Blighted Agent. Since this is still not lethal win 1, I'm gonna wait another turn and just attack with this Blighted Agent like this. It's a bit tricky because now next turn I can't have them both be exalted, so. But I still have to run it out there. Just in case they have the prismatic ending for 1. This is not great against Source of Plowshares because, well, it doesn't really help with all the exalted triggers. Though if I draw a land, I can overload my skill up, and that might actually be good. I did not, so I'm just gonna wait. I think I should have just skilled up here. I'm pretty sure I should have. I was thinking about other stuff too much. Yeah, and I'm just gonna run this out there. It's not really gonna impact this game, but I'm probably not beating a Supreme Verdict or something like that anyway. Alright, we got there. Let's see, so I have to be honest that I'm still not 100% sure on what they're at. Like, is it just 4-color control with Yorion, or is there a Luren hiding out somewhere in there? That's basically the biggest question I have. I'm not sure. In any case, I think Carpet is just a good card to have in my deck. I think Paladin class just comes in against all the blue decks that also have cheap removal. I typically like the Caragas just to bring in and to support the white a bit more. I think Sylvan Library should be okay. Veil of Summer, maybe, depending on what I have to take out. I don't think this is a Berserk matchup. I also typically just don't like the sorcery speed of this against interactive decks. And I probably, until I confirm that they're Alluring, I want to shave some Fossil Wills. So what does this look like? So I could board it like this, then I don't have the Endurance, Flusterstorm, or the removal spells. I think I want the Flusterstorm over the Force of Will. And the question now is, do I want removal against this deck? If I knew the makeup of their deck better, I definitely would want to. And seeing black makes it a bit risky that they have Plague Engineer. So I would like endings or source projects against that. Since I'm on the draw, and they're just not going to keep hands without 1 mana interaction, I believe, I'm going to bring in 2 source projects over 2 dazes. And just see where this gets us. Is there a chance that there's a Saga deck? We didn't see a Saga nor any artifact. So I'm not gonna bring in the Fossil Viger. Yeah, I'm gonna do it like this. It's a bit of a mess. There's not really a good sideboard plan here because I'm just not sure what their AT looks like. If I had a more clear of a picture, I would choose a direction to go with this. This is definitely a keep. It's not great. We're not fast, but we have Paladin class and some income accesses. So I'm gonna keep this. One thing I do think of now, yeah, I might have wanted the second prismatic ending over one of Source Plowshares just because of stuff like Pitting Needle. They're an 80-card deck, so they're more likely to have some stuff that shooters, but okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame I can't really get rid of the birds here, but I think I just have to run out the Paladin class here and put some pressure on their mana. I like the combination of Paladin class and Ink Nexus against potential Plague Engineer. If they do have that, you can just level this up first before you start animating these things. And of course they could have removal and put their Plague Engineer into play first, but well, something we could see coming. And they're gonna pay extra if they want to do that in our turn. Sylvan Library. I think this game is gonna go long enough that I want to counter that. It's a bit risky because they have this mana up, but okay, so they do resolve it with a forceful and a forceful negation. This is a bit rough for us, but just have to try and close out the game. So we could play the Nexus here to start attacking, which is very important, but I think the Noble Hierarch is also just a great card to keep in play. So the question is, if we Nexus here, do we activate next turn? I think we do, which means we're not protecting our Noble Hierarch, but I think that's fine, we're quite land heavy. Second thought, there's a good chance that I'm just gonna level up my Paladin class first before using activating a Nexus, but we'll see. I definitely want to have up the veil when I start animating this because of their source plowshares. There's a risk if I level this up that they ending it, which is like one of the cards that makes Paladin class a lot less good in the white matchups. But that does mean they're not ending something like a Noble Hierarch or one of my Infect creatures. So. Let's see. So they kept one card. And they fetch for something. It's a Zenith? Yeah. Alright. What are we Zenithing? Is this the Grist? Grist would be annoying. Just because it picks this off relatively freely. But I'm sure there's worse cards they could find here for us. Okay, so it is the Grist. Blowing up the Hierarch. So now they're gonna have to. I think I'm gonna attack the Grist with my Nexus, which kills the Birds of Paradise basically. Newly controlled, so I tap you for mana, make you into your creature. And just attack this into the Grist. I was gonna say the best thing for me is if they would tap this before blockers and try to source plowshares here. They mill the source of plowshares on purpose. Since they put it on top of the library, that's interesting. Oh yeah, they couldn't source plowshares anyway because of the class. Last turn. Alright. We're in trouble. It's not looking good for us. But they're at 5. If I find like just a regular creature, like an Ovar, I can start attacking them. If well, not if there's insects in the way. At least they're not drawing more cards of their library after this. Unless they're turning off their fetch lands and forces. So I think it's too risky here to just Vil on my Inkbond Nexus while attacking their Grist. But I do want to get it out of play. Since it's going to kill any Infect creature I draw. Alright, more card selection. One advantage is that I can't protect Source of Plowshares with a Force, but if I do this proactively, it's going to be more annoying. Okay, so now I can choose to use my Snakeskin Veil to kill the Grist. Oh, that also works, I think. No, I can only do this in my second main phase. That's annoying. So I animate the Nexus with a Nexus. Attack the Grist. Snakeskin Veil Nexus since they can't Source of Plowshares to kill that. So they can force a will. But at least they won't have anything else. And what I think I'm gonna do is start with the Carpet. I'm gonna have to show that before combat anyway, to get the mana in my second main phase. Though it's a bit of a shame I won't have enough mana to level this up if I fail. But I have to get the Grist off the board, I think. You become a creature. I'll attack Grist. And after blocks, I'll Snakeskin Veil this because I really want to get it off the board. I don't know why I added the mana in there, but because I could, I guess. Alright. So at least their civil library is just filtering now, which is still very good for them, of course. But as long as they're not exactly 4, I always have the win condition of them misclicking their library. Nah, that would be mean. I still think I'm behind here, but because they have so much mana and are ahead on cards, but it's not terrible. If they're not doing good things, this might work out for me. Yeah, that works. Ooh, another Snakeskin Veil, I like that. I'll add white mana here. Which point I'll do this. Play the Flooded Strand. I'm just gonna animate one of my Nexus, I think. I think I'm gonna do the one with the least. That doesn't have to counter already on it. I'm gonna keep this back because it can block if I really needed to. And they don't have enough snow for Ice Fang, so that's also good to keep in mind. Okay, how badly do I get blown up by Endurance, by the way? I should have thought about this earlier. Yeah. Next turn I can up my Paladin class and just attack through Endurance. Since it gains double strike. But I think it's too risky to attack into endurance there, since it's basically one of the few cards that I really can't interact with here. Okay, they don't attack into my Infect nexus. I'm just gonna draw here. Yes, 4 white, 2 white mana. What I think I'm gonna do is just play the Blighted Agent here and up the Paladin class, I think, since this is 5 mana, so it's 2, 3, 5, and then I don't have Snakeskin fill up. I expect a hardcast Force of Will here. Ooh, I'm not hardcast Force of Will. Oh, they only had 5. Okay, yeah. I keep forgetting the Paladin class myself. So I could get in for 3, but I think it's more valuable to get the Paladin class going. So I'll get another tropical. And up this. And then next turn I can finally get in there, I think. So they could cast endurance here. They probably should. Oh, they do have the Ice Fang. Okay. It's less risky for me now that my creature will have double strike. Though still a blocker, so still good for them. Would love something like a Flusterstorm, or I don't have any more Snakeskin Veils in my deck. Just creatures. At this point, I just need more things to stand in with the Paladin class. So this will survive a endurance, but not if it gets double blocked with the Ice Fang as well, since it would put 1 and 1. So I'm gonna have to attack with the 3/3 Ink Mob. And just hope that their 2 cards aren't too good. Yes, I'm gonna add blue and just cast a Brainstorm here. Veil of Summer could be interesting. They do keep Forces of Will mana up the entire time. And then I'll draw the Ponder next turn, I think. I could Ponder now, but I think I like the options more. Just see what happens this turn first. And do it like this. Use the mana to activate this one. And get in there. I could activate this as well. I think that's fine. Force of Vigor on those 2. So I certainly have to protect this one. Put that down. That's rough. Now the Veil of Summer looks a bit silly. Right, I didn't think I needed the Ponder to be that good, but now I need my Ponder to be good. Let's see. I mean, there had to be something, of course, since they weren't using their mana to return the Yorion or anything like that. Well, these beats are certainly making top deck Sylvan Library of my side a lot worse. So now they returned it. Yes, I'll have blue on my main phase just to see what's up here. Okay, 2 more in Evil Nexuses in the land. So they're attacking back for 2 a turn, and they're getting in there for 3. So if they have something like Endurance, those are very bad. Yeah, I don't think I can beat Endurance here unless I can shuffle into my one of Swords of Plowshares. I think it is, or a Palm Spell. That being said, I already have 2 Infant Nexuses. I think I'm going to shuffle here, despite how good those are. And I know it's not great to brainstorm here, but I don't think I have a lot of time left. Alright, it looks like I'm still recording. My power just went out. So, I'll see if this is still working. This isn't great either. The issue with brainstorming here, of course. Definitely gonna put it back like this then. Cast the Noble Hierarch. At least this gets through Endurance now. So I have to hope they never find a Snowland or a Swords of Plowshares. There it is. Yeah, this is going to be rough. I think I was quite fine for a lot of this game. But basically, the Force of Vigor was really rough. That made the whole Paladin class plan, which I was basically banking on because I was so mana flooded. Well, maybe not flooded, just heavy. Yeah, that's gonna get in here. So they're just gonna run out to Yorion then. So I know the top 2 cards of my deck aren't great. Gonna get 2 attacks for 5 in draw. I think I'm gonna concede this game because the top 2 cards aren't good. I can trip the Veil of Summer here, but I don't think that's good enough. Okay, I'm gonna put in the Days to take out the Force of Will. I haven't seen any permanents from their side except for the Sylvan Library, but that's probably they probably don't have a lot of those. That makes me want to have Ending over Swords, and Swords doesn't deal with Ice Fang and Endurance a lot better. And if I'm on the play, I'm also less interested in countering the Sylvan Library. The Carpet of Flowers is a lot worse when I try to get faster. So I might just want to go a bit more aggressive here. And then the question is, does that mean I want... Maybe I'll just take out the Veil somewhere. If I do want to be a bit faster, it's just not mana efficient to keep that up. And none of the cards I really care about are blue or black. Like, yeah, the counters are good, but still 2 for 1ing themselves on that. Yeah, I'm keeping this. Not super happy with it. Well, I'm happy with it, but I'm not super happy with having to choose between these plays, basically. So I think Listen Elf is just better to play here. But if they just pass with white mana open, it's kind of annoying. If they just blow right away, it's kind of annoying. But they're going to have that option anyway. So I'm going to start with this, but this hand, I'm probably banking on the Brainstorm being good, or them just not having interaction in their opening hand, which is unlikely, but that could happen. So Tropical here to at least represent the days, and so I can Brainstorm before fetching next turn. This is Swords or the ending? The ending, alright. I was planning to Brainstorm here, but I think it's better to just run out Paladin class and Noble Hierarch and get that going. So I'll start with the class, just to not give them the option basically. And see what happens. Another ending, I think. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna say do your thing, Brainstorm, but just drawing the Blight Agent is also pretty good. You can do it like this. With blue mana. And keep the Brainstorm for next turn. It's not the most aggressive line, but yeah. So they probably kept the hand with even more removal. Ooh, now they don't have interaction, except for stack interaction, and that's now dealt with by that. So there's two things I can do. I can try to Brainstorm for protection, or I can just level this up and have Invigorate in days up, and I think the latter is better. Force of Vigor would be... I could daze it, and then they can counter back, so that's fine. Okay. The question here... I think I'm going to Invigorate here, just to get the damage in. Right? Do I have Berserks in my deck again? No, I don't. So I don't really think there's a reason to keep it here. Makes future chip damage just a lot more potent. Okay, after quite tight and interesting game 2, we might just win because they're screwed. But we're not there yet, of course. Yeah. Okay, it's the Force of Vigor. I think I do want to daze that. This is very annoying for them that, like, if I find a Nexus, it's just so rough that they can't really interact with it. Okay, so they gave me a turn and had the Sorcerer Plowshares. That is slightly annoying. Oh, that's great though. So I'm gonna put these two back and jam a library. Gonna end the Paladin class. Yeah. Right. I mean, I can see why they kept their one lander. 3 endings in Sorcerer Plowshares cast already. Yes. Let's pay some life, shall we? And just Brainstorm here. With the library in play, there's not really that much of a reason to keep a Brainstorm in hand, since we're brainstorming every turn. So yeah, this is easily lethal. Let's see what's the best way. So invigorate is lethal, and I can have flush the storm up. The question is, do I need anything else? I guess I'll just put it like this, since that's just the best card I have for if it doesn't work. And for storms, it's really hard for them to interact with here. I mean, they could have Force of Will for the Invigorate and a Force of Green and Vigor. I think I'm going to Invigorate now that I still have the Nexus mana up, just in case it's going to matter. So do they have a Force of Vigor, a second one? They do not. Well, that was an interesting game. This last wasn't too close, because they just got stuck on mana while keeping probably a decent hand with a lot of cheap interaction. But yeah, okay, we ended up getting there in the end. I hope my recording is alive, so if so, I'll see you in the next round.